So the car update. Lots of you have been asking what's the deal with Land Rover? Where have you got to? Um, well, I've just got off the phone from the Ombudsman. Um, 23 minutes to get the phone answered, and then 25 minutes of forwards and backwards. My case hasn't even got to an adjudicator. So just to fill you in on the background on this, for those of you that don't know, my car went into Marshalls Land Rover Peterborough with steering rack failure on the 9th of January 2024. Whilst it was in there, it rolled off the rollers, I think is the technical term, and suffered damage. I rejected the car in April of 2024, and the case was picked up by the Motoring Ombudsman in May of 2024. The Marshalls didn't respond to the Ombudsman investigation by the deadline, which was in 2025. And so I thought, that's it, case closed. We will organise what's going to happen with the cars and move forwards. Not so. The Ombudsman said it was such a complicated case, which it is, that it would need an adjudicator. So the adjudicator was going to be assigned in May. It wasn't, or in June, or in July. So at the end of July, when I phoned explaining that we are on 18 months of our car being in Marshalls Land Rover, having to buy a replacement car and having to spend £8,000 on repairs of said replacement car, we are out of money, out of luck, out of cars. And the person that I spoke to from the Ombudsman then said that they would deal with that. They would get my case. It would be dealt with in August. Didn't really say when in August, but what they did say was it would be assigned in August, and then once it had been assigned, it would only take 10 days. So we're on the 27th of August, and I rang because I hadn't heard anything. And the lady, when I finally got through, said it hasn't even been assigned yet. So 20 months from when my car went into Marshalls Land Rover with steering rack failure, which, by the way, is the known recall steering rack failure, but because they didn't get to my VIN number, my chassis number, it's not a recall. It'll only be a recall when they get to that chassis number. So that was fixed under my warranty that I'd paid for. When it suffered the incident, that's where we got to loggerheads, because I felt that the repairs and the information surrounding the incident weren't up to standard. And so we've been backwards and forwards for 20 months. And I don't have that car. That's Marshalls Land Rover. The car, replacement car that we bought, is sat on the drive with all manner of faults. It cost us £20,000 to buy the car that sat on the drive. It cost £8,000 in repairs to date, of money that we don't have. And the Ombudsman, if you have a case with the Ombudsman, you cannot have a legal case. You cannot have a separate case. If you do have a separate case, you have to relinquish your case with the Ombudsman. So my choices are now relinquish the Ombudsman if I want resolution and go down the legal route, which is probably going to cost me more than anything that I would get back for my cars. So I'm in a lose-lose situation. I can't afford the legal case, and I need a car, but I can't afford to change the car that's on the drive that's broken. I haven't had the money back for the car that went into Marshalls, and it's drained every penny that we have or don't have. And the Ombudsman have explained to me several times that they're a free service, that they have processes and protocols. They have so many cases at the minute that they're drowning under the cases, and there's nothing the lady could do. And I said, well, I don't know where to go with this. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. And I don't. The family has to remain in limbo. We are financially stymied. We're broke. And meanwhile, Marshall Land Rover still have my car and haven't shown any credibility, any accountability. All they've wanted to do is get out of doing the right thing. So, yes, it's not Land Rover's fault. But I mean, it is Land Rover's fault because they've created these cars that have so many issues with them. So that is Land Rover's fault as a manufacturer. They also give their franchises to certain groups, Marshalls Land Rover in Peterborough being the worst that I've ever heard of. And I am inundated. I mean, you read the comments after this video goes out of how many other people have had these problems. This is not unique to me by any stretch. I've just been dogged in that I won't give up. I can't give up. I have nothing left to lose. But it's taking a lot of me. It's taking an awful lot of me to be able to keep going through this. And all four, I still don't know what the outcome will be. We may be no better off with the outcome, but it's all I've got. I trust humanity. I trust the right thing. I'm a believer in fate. And I feel like that's all I've got left to go on. Hope and pray that the Ombudsman will see this case for what it is and see the treatment of my family from Marshalls Land Rover and do the right thing. I'd love to start a class action, but how are we going to fund that? This is just another company trying to squash the small person, the normal person, me. It's just another example of how big corporations get away with this. And I won't let them get away with it. I will continue, but I cannot tell you that it's not coming without some significant emotional cost. The financial cost I can't even think about. I can't sleep at night because of the financial cost. The emotional cost is, well, you can see. But I have to be honest, we're not all here just to laugh and joke and poke fun at Angela Rayner, although that is quite good fun. This is the reality. And it's shit. So at the minute, I remain in the Ombudsman's hands. But January 2024, this happened.